All right, this is 2024 version 2 planning LEQ activity. We're going to turn this in, so make sure you got name pin at the top. And on test day, obviously, we're going to create this to turn in because we're going to plan all 3 LEQs just to get the reps. But on test day, you're going to pick one and just plan that one. So on test day, you just have one of these. But for this activity, I want to see all 3 because we don't have many reps left of this. And at this point, you should write the prompts down at the top, and then I want you to push pause on the video. But you're going to put the star and write the prompts down. Look at what these LEQ prompts look like. They have a sentence to help you at the beginning. That's not really the prompt. The prompt is right here. Please skip all that. Develop an argument that evaluates the extent to which I would just write EEW and get right to it. Religion was main source of political legitimacy for rulers in Africa, Asia during, at this point, you will have to pop back up and get the date, 1200 to 1750. Boom, that's your prompt. Do that each time and push pause because I want you to have read all these before I help you, because the main way I'm going to help you is I'm going to teach you from the last one. Now, I just have fake ones here. They could be 2 bodies. They could be 3 bodies. They could be both up, up. They could be down, up, up, whatever. You're going to make that decision. But as you plan an LEQ, remember what we're looking for here is you got to come up with bodies. One of them has to address the one they give you, like religion. So you got to start thinking, I want to see arrows. Am I doing religion down? Am I doing religion up? And then I have evidence ideas over here. Sometimes it's real clean and clear cut, and these will look like the ones on our test where you have a category like religion, and you have like dough balls. Like maybe your dough ball is like using God, saying God gave you power. And then what would your evidence be that you'd brainstorm inside that? Y'all can copy this if you want. Divine right. I got another one too. Mandate of heaven. Bam. And so, boo, that's a nice looking little body paragraph right there. Now you got to make a decision. Am I going down with that one, or am I going to use that as my up? I don't know. There's lots of other ways to do your legitimacy during this time period. So that's going to be a fun one, easy one to plan. Let's pop down to the last one, globalization. It's got to be econ. That's actually one of the harder ones, but you can do it. Like econ, it's going to be down or up. My stomach's not showing us.
No, it's not.
And it's got to be down or up. And, you know, that's going to be the hard one to come with, where you're like, wow, big transnational companies like Coke want to make a bunch of money. I don't know. Why are people doing, what's an economic reason that the world is getting more interconnected? All right. But let's help each other right now with, to me, they're begging for a counter argument. What has made the world closer together more than almost anything? Like we got people in India. Technology, yes. So to me, E has got to be one of them. But you better have a T. Mike could even split T into 2 bodies if you did like communication tech and transportation tech. And then think about all the possibilities of more specific evidence ideas you're going to put out to the side of those. You know, and it says late. Somebody yesterday said radio as a, I mean, okay, I think it says late 20th century. I don't think many of y'all are going home like, listen to the radio. I think you got other technology you would hit way before that gets you, you know, call somebody in India right now. So anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else to say before we let you go and do this. So we should see, so people keep getting hung up because it's not, sometimes the evidence and the dough ball big ideas kind of blur together. So don't let that freak you out. What's got to happen at the end of the day is you've got to have slides and good bodies, and the bodies have to make sense. All right. Like your body for that technology needs to say something like these technologies bringing the world closer together or making it easier, something like that, you know? Now let me help you with this phrasing is a little troublesome. I'm worried about naked wieners, all right? Because it says main source. And so it's a little awkward to make sure you're sliding this one. So I'll give you like a way you could do it. You could say, it's okay for it to be awkward. It's better for it, like don't stress on test day, like this doesn't sound like good grammar, it doesn't matter. Try to slap one. So if you said highly the main source, that's weird. But it'd be better to do that than to not do it. But if you want one that sounds good and clean for this purpose, I would say like by far. You like that? I'd be like, it was by far the main, or by far, overwhelmingly the main. Now it's like, all right, that judge cannot tell me I didn't take a stand. All right? The last thing I'll help you with before I stop the video. This one is horrific. These 2 are much easier and cleaner. This one is horrific, but I'll help you understand it for the purposes of planning. All right, they let a total nerd geek get a hold of this one. Like, discontent with monarchist or imperial rule was the main source of new political ideas or new systems of government. good practice is to like, let me take a deep breath and rephrase this to myself. What are they asking for? Hey, how much was people getting pissed off with like empires responsible for creating new political ideas or new governments? So that could easily be like, the new government could be like the new U.S. democracy. Look at the time period, 1750, 1900. And like they're pissed off at like the British monarchy's control or something. You see that? Now what would be the other body paragraphs? Could you do India getting a new country?
Yeah. No.
Why not? When? Anybody got any proud Indians in here? You got the date tattooed on your back? Independence? Mm-hmm. Somebody should get that tattooed across their back. When is the independence? After 47, babies. After World War II. That one's out. So you got to, that's just another reminder. Grill yourself. It better be the right time period or you can write the most beautiful thing and it's out. No points. So you got all the other revolutions though, all the French, Haitian. So do you think Haitian people that took over were the most pissed about the empire or something else? Slavery. How about that? But if I had to, I could even lube that to be empire. If I had to, I could be like the French Empire's forcing them to do slavery. If I had to, but I would probably use it as a different body. Like, hey, it wasn't always about being pissed at an empire. It could be something as simple as being pissed off as slavery. Or French people didn't overthrow their own government because they were living in the French Empire. They just didn't like the poor people being taken advantage of, right? Yeah. And the aristocrats. So anyway, that one sucks, but we just gave you some ideas. All we're doing right here is just planning it. So let's see you do that right now. Plan all three. Here's like a fake version. Do context funnels too. Pick your best. Try to brainstorm as much as you can. Please abbreviate. And you would just roll with your best three. One of them should have a little economic flavor to it. They're like for the last one, if you're doing that, or this one better hit up like what, I don't know. You know how to do it. All right. See ya.